Wait for some people to join. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. Let's see. Just giving a minute or so for people to join. Okay. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi, Ken. Just letting people pile on before I start. So, but for people that miss any of it anyway, I'm going to upload it to YouTube when I'm finished. So it'll be on my YouTube tomorrow, just in case, you know. And I can go through. Hi. It was interesting. Hi, hi, hi. 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 Okay. Hello, hello, hi. Just give it a minute or so people can all pile on, and then I can tell you what happened. It's very interesting, actually. Wow. Hi. Very interesting, because I went through a huge meditation clear yesterday. That's why I wasn't on. I was like, oh, you know, that was enough. And I wasn't expecting another one. Wow. I was like, gee whiz. Fascinating, actually. And I've seen a dimensional collapse before. When I first started this, there was a dimensional collapse, which was interesting, actually. A few people witnessed it, so not many. And now this, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. So we know we kind of made it across the finish line into the 4D, but then you had to do a lot of work. Hi, hi. So I'll tell you. I think enough people are on here. If they're not, I don't know what the time is. Let's have a look. Give it 1 minute. Okay. So yeah, like everybody else, you got to do a lot of inner work. Wow, and they're not going to point out to you, you know, because you have to willingly give up things, your traits, your personality. You got to decide, you know, whatever traits you want to be. We all know that. So like everybody, you started on your, I don't know where you are, who's watching, I have no clue. So you got to start on your shadow when you wake up. If you've had your kundalini, you're intentionally on the ascension path. Your energy is going. You're just along for the ride, really. So you do your serious dark night of the soul, your shadow work, and then you start working on yourself. It's like, okay, you see things in yourself, nah, you know, it's not nice. Jealousy, judgment. So it was intentionally, like we've all been working through these things. Oh, okay, oopsie, no, not that. Well, it's up to you. I mean, who knows? What you're recognizing, if you've been purposely looking and cleaning and recognizing, right? So we've been on this journey, and doing this and doing that, and then, you know, we've gone through this ascension path. This happened and that happened, and all these different phases, right? And then we've got this one we knew was going to be a big one, a big, you know, a big clearing. We all felt it. But so we've done some, yeah, a lot of purging, a lot of energies come in. But not on a, you normally don't do a shift on a, like on a big scale when a lot of stuff comes through. So as I mentioned in my live, or my TikTok page, I saw in a dream, and I got the thing basically, I woke up in the middle of the night in this strange dream. I was like, okay, that's the cash or the karma, you know, the thing being cleared. So they were clearing out all the stuff we didn't need anymore. So it was, so people that I don't bother with the dreams, it's going through and clearing all past lives and whatever else. But I intentionally, so I don't know what anyone's done here, I intentionally dropped my karma because we don't need it for this new thing. So it's, and most of my guidance came from within, not following people, because this one's going to tell you you've got 7 chakras, that one's going to tell you you've got 15, this one's saying you've got 12, and all this. I get sick of all this. Everyone's got their own, because everyone's got their own level of consciousness and their own level of whatever frequency, vibration, so they're accessing different things and they're all having different experiences. So it's very difficult to try and follow someone on the outside. If you rather ask, so most of my stuff I asked, and then my inner being, I was guided. Synchronicity. If you're in the flow, the video comes up, the answer you're seeking is there. That one is there. You guided to this video, that video, as you seek. So really it's all about us. What questions you ask. So we all being this clearing, and I got tired of it, right? I was trying to find the shortcut. Yes, right, I tell you the shortcuts to do things, like use your affirmations. So I try and find the shortcut. I'm like, oh, because now, okay, you got to clear that. So we know that after, and we sit there, something comes up. Every time we get a big surge of energy again, another thing came up, and you could feel there was this heaviness or darkness, or you're feeling upset. Now you got to figure out, okay, what's that, you know? show me in my meditation. Okay, there's some, what I need to release and clear that. So we're going through this process, right? But we're trying to clear things one at a time. So eventually I was thinking, no, there's got to be a shortcut. So I did ask them, I thought of a few things, a way of wangling around this, right? Because I've done a lot. So then I asked in the meditation, was yesterday, the day before, to clear all dark, dense energies, thoughts, emotions. I think I ran through the whole lot. That is not in alignment with my higher self, my inner being, or source, the highest dimension, highest consciousness, highest evolution. I really went through the lot. So thinking, okay, I'm covering all ballparks here. Because ask what you get. You've got to ask. And what you intend. They don't just give, here we are. They're not feeding us. We have to seek what we want. So I was like, all right. So then, right now, tomorrow I said, so I asked them, okay, now show me any and all energies, frequencies, vibrations, resonance. And I went through it all, like overlays. I think I even said past lives overlays, cash. I mean, I just wanted to clear the lot. Gee whiz. And next minute, I sat yesterday. Wow. So I wasn't on. Intentionally to clear, I just thought, oh, well, otherwise, let's just get it all out. All energy that is not, from the highest dimension, highest timeline, highest evolution, highest consciousness, way of being, She was, I must have said something right, because I sat, and my goodness, I'm going to go yesterday and today, and I'll tell you what happened. Now I've got 2 chakras missing now. Well, missing, the old one. You don't need them anymore. So I sat there, and depending on, sometimes, you see it as a ball of energy, and you give it back energy, or whatever, it is different ways. But this came up, it was like, I've had lots of issues with my digestive system in this carnation, right? Or this life, this manifestation, whatever. Game we're playing. Avatar. So I've had lots of issues with my digestive system. I mean, it was pretty obvious to know where those are, because those are feelings and emotions, it's stress you hold on to, you don't let go. It's just, we all know that one. So I've had lots of issues, and especially recently, it's like, wow, so I was like, oh, okay, so it sounds all right. So anyway, I must have done something, and next minute, it just started coming out. Wow. And it was like watching a movie. So you're going, I was trying to release this energy. So it was coming out. I was doing it by the breath. It was energy coming out that had been stuck there, I don't know how long. But as you're seeing it, as you're going, and you're working through, and you're in meditation, so just working, it's, you're going like you're in the flow. You just kind of, it's going with it. It's being done for you. So I'm sitting there, and then more's coming out. It's like my intestines, my colon, it was all cleaned out. Shit. And this was all energy. It was amazing what came out. Wow, my stomach. It was like just unbelievable the amount of stuff came out. And as it was coming out, you were conscious of every feeling and emotion that you didn't process. That you were upset, you cried, you didn't speak your truth, oh my good Lord. So my thing started, I think, yesterday. And it was like, I'm sitting back and watching, this one, as it's coming out of your mouth, because your eyes are, you're breathing this shit out. There it is, that and that thing, a childhood, and this, and the cousin, and I mean, it was unbelievable. It was like watching a movie. The shit's just coming out. So when I finished yesterday, I was tired, and I thought, I'm not going to tell everyone, I'm sure they're going to get it. They have to ask, I don't know where they are. Yeah, I know. You'll get it. That's what I'm saying. So yesterday something was sitting, and I was thinking, what the shit is sitting here now that needs to heal and clear? So that's why I just wanted all energy, frequencies, vibrations, resonance, that's residue that's in my being, my energy, my field, my cellular structure, my DNA. I call everything off. You see, I try and not leave any corners cut. So that through all dimensions, I always, and I've told you how I work it. So I say through all dimensions, time, space, realms, reality. So I'm covering all bases. And I wanted all energy. So I said dark, dense energy, negative emotions, feelings, thoughts. I mean, I really went through that a lot. That's what I'm trying to do. And that's what happened. And next minute, the entire garbage came out. I mean, wow. So I had a good clearing, right? It was really, and then I'd also been working there in my thing. So I'll tell you, I don't know where you are. So I'll tell you, you've got to do your own work, because it's not, you can't jump think you can just, everyone's got different stuff and different things to work out. And some people have less stuff to clear than others, depending on your lives, right? So I had a lot of stuff. And what I figured out, there were patterns. I'm going to give you some clues here if you haven't figured this out. so you can also work through this. And I'll tell you what happened as well, how this, whatever. So I figured out, if you look, now we know, because I listened to Abraham Hicks and I've been doing my own, not Truth Seeker or Red Pill nonsense or any of these, light work. I've been following like Buddhists and this and that, and I've been trying to pick up from all over, right? In things, I ask whatever I'm seeking, the answers to higher evolution or whatever questions I ask, and my soul guides me to the right videos, depending on where you are and what you're seeking, right? So I'd sought to become the highest level of consciousness. I'd sought enlightenment, So I got shown that and that and that. But then what I wanted to do was, the final thing was to become one with Source, to merge. So I would be Source, but walking on earth, like in a physical vessel. So purely like become one. So Source would just be working through me and then I was told, no, you can't embody the Source, pure Source thing, because without the kind of separation, the ego, because otherwise what would happen is I'd have to you become non-physical. There's no ways I could embody, like be like Source on earth. You can't do that, because you would actually then become non-physical. To become one with Source, that energy, frequency, vibration, you just can't stay in a physical body. So I was like, okay, well, fair enough, okay, you can go as high as you can go, but that one you can't do. You have to wait till you leave your body. So I was like, all right, that's fine. Yeah, but this is everything, not a lot. This is clearing. The closet came out. Wow, my stomach. What came out of my entire stomach, intestines. If you see your whole life's worth of every thought, feeling, and emotion that you never released goes past you. Flipping hell. And then today, anyway, so I was telling you. So I figured out, most people haven't. I've seen it in other people. Sometimes it's easy for us to see it in other people. Now, if you listen to Abraham and you understand there's a law of attraction and whatever frequency and resonance, everyone in that similar, they have to, vibrate, has to be drawn to you. So nothing can come into experience, or no one that you haven't manifested, haven't in your vortex, that you're maybe not aware of though, but you've done it, you've already manifested. So feelings you held, the way you were before, whatever, it's now here now. Or family, wake up. Now, when we connect into family, we know we choose them. But they also have to be in alignment, if you understand frequency and vibration, that have to be in the same frequency and vibration. So you've got to figure out what it is you share similar, because your family are going to have that frequency and vibration among them. So I saw in a friend of mine, which is there's not willingness to change. They're stuck. They will not see any other point of view. It's like refusal to acknowledge or change, was like set in their ways. They will not move, or it's like, when someone's got this and they will not move a budge. And that you'll find that they've got the same, right? And you'll see it throughout. There's a pattern. I had to figure out what was mine, and I just thought it was very interesting. If you've come through a family where there's been a lot of trauma, or you've come through a real hard carnation, you'll find out in your family you are holding the same, because you will find it in your parents, brother, sister, boyfriend's mother, whatever. Watch, there is a trait throughout it. There's a theme. So I figured out what theme I had, and it was being pointed out. Someone else also pointed out. I was like, ooh, not nicely, but they pointed it out. You get lessons sometimes, and it was hard, and I was like, ooh, that's not nice. Let me see, if there's any validity to what that person's was saying, right? So I dug in, I sat, and I thought, okay, there's a pattern. And then I remembered reflecting on my past life, there's a pattern there. And I watched this life, and I thought, there's a clear pattern. So I purposely sat down and said, right, I don't want any of this now. I want it completely clear. So I was very careful today. Maybe that was the final thing, you see. It's choice. I sat and said no, because as the Buddhists say, there's attachment. We've got to figure out what your attachment is. We've all got an attachment, which is whether it's to relationships, sex, lust. It could be desire, lust, like physical attachment. Like you love relationships and sex and whatever else, who knows. Some people it's drugs, alcohol, anger, jealousy, rage. So you'll see they've been murdered in the last life, and they've got a lot of issues. In this life, they might have a lot of physical abuse, because they're holding the same. They're holding either abusive something. Well, you've got to figure out what it is. So maybe in this life, you're not the abuser, but you might have been one. Who knows? So jealousy, rage, anger. There's something. There is something, and you'll see. Because you cannot be born into that family without those. You're sharing those. You've got to be on the same sort of frequency and vibration to get that. Anyway, so I was like, okay, no. I want this shit gone. Because what people don't realize, it's going to keep pulling you. This life, the next life, over and over, you're going to be pulled by this. You think it's your, it's meant to be, it's synchronicity, it's your source. Yes, it's actually karma. It's that pattern. It keeps pulling you. It keeps pulling you. You have to willingly say no. So I was like, no, I don't want any more of this shit. No, it's going to, consciously. So I did away, as I said to you, very carefully, and I told you how to do it. I dropped all past life overlays. So these things are those patterns that, you keep pulling you. That people are unaware, and these are the ones that keep dragging you backwards, and you keep going back to the same mistake or bouncing back. So I cleared all past life overlays. Cryon said, I told you to listen to Cryon, that Cryon one, all karma. And then this pattern was there. So this morning I sat and I said, right, sometimes you just sit, you don't know what's going to happen. And I sat and I said, right, let's see, anything you want to show me, that for my highest and greatest good, that I need to clear, release, that's not the same thing, as I said. And then I said to them, right, I want to clear this, but I want it gone. So I called them in and I said, I want it gone completely. I don't want any residue. I don't want it in my cellular structure, in my DNA, in my, auric field. I don't want it in my cache. I don't want it in my consciousness, energy, frequency, vibration. I mean, when I go into cleaning, I make sure that I just don't leave anything out. So you clean that shit from everything. All dimensions, all the realms, all frequencies, all vibrations, because it's different versions. I don't want that shit anywhere, right? Hi. I'm just saying how I managed to get rid of this whole thing today. So I did that, and that was actually great. I said, right, I wanted to be cleansed and purified, because I've been working on completely cleansing and purifying anything that you don't want. That's not nice. So I called in the angelics and I said, right, now I want these. Let's go through chakra to chakra. I want them cleansed and purified. So this thing, when I finally released this, wow. And then it was like you sitting there and you watch, it's like a laser, like a white light coming in, as you asked, and you're watching this energy going into your root chakra, your lowest chakra, whatever, which is that's all our problems on the planet. If you look at people, their anger and all the dark, dense energies and frequencies and emotions and violence and anger, all are in the red. They're all yellow, red. They're all the lower chakras. They're all you'll see the auras are very red. They got red in it. It's anger, jealousy, this, whatever nonsense, right? So I saw this. Eventually I did that. I must have cleaned up enough shit now. And I finally got rid of that. That was my weak spot. That was the thing that kept, And I said, no, I want it gone completely, intentionally. And I asked free will, I'm doing it. You take this thing. And then they cleaned up. And I saw it was like a beam, like a laser almost, that energy of light going into my lower chakra. And it just cleaned. It was, and you're seeing it and you're feeling it, and it's filling up a light like that, and then it becomes like a diamond. Boom! It was it was very interesting actually watching this whole process, or being aware of it, because the laser, this light comes in, and then it's emptied, it cleans it out, because now you've got rid of all that shit, you've worked through whatever else, all the other nonsense. I must have cleared so much now, everything basically. And the next minute the light comes in, it gets lighter, boom, and then it goes poop, right. It turned like into a white diamond, and then it went up to the next chakra, and then I done all that. So then it was working my navel. Now the bottom two turned up, bung 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 bung. It goes up. This one, why the heck, the amount that came out of here, I think it was, I can't remember. I've lost track actually. If it was yesterday or today, but this lump, you can see I've got a cyst here. There, I manifested that in this lifetime from not speaking this is exactly not expressing how you feel, suppressing anger, tears, fear, whatever, not speaking, like telling people about whatever. Wow, that was here. And when I saw that come out, there's so much stuff come out of there. I was like, okay, I get the point. When you're not standing up, you've got it. But I've done through it a lot. This is also claiming your power back, your divinity, accepting that you're creating, fully accepting that you are the creator of your reality, fully. Like you owning it now. I am creating everything, my thoughts, my frequency, vibration, whatever I think, so you've got to own up even the shit. But people are doing it anyway, so I don't know why they've got a fear of actually completely standing and saying, yep, I'm the creator of my own, fully doing it. Yeah, no, well, let's not go there. That's not anything to be excited about. That's another lower chakra thing. Anyway, just what it is. So, projections as well, yeah. Anyway, so I was doing that, cleaning up, and the chakras went, like diamonds, like bung, bung, bung. So it was like this white laser light came in, and it was completely cleansed, purified, bing, and it became a diamond. It was like buck, 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 buck. So basically they'd worked through the system. When I dropped this thing today, they disappeared. It was so strange. Then my lower 2 chakras are no longer there. So your chakra starts. Now I heard Crown and Abraham say this, your navel chakra, you know, the one here where your belly button is. That's where our gut feeling, you know, people say the gut feeling, your gut, where our emotions come from, or our, let's say, frequency, resonance, whatever nonsense. So it looks like now this is it. So all I saw, it was so strange. Once it was finished, it vanished. It was like my being or my body starts from here now. It starts from your navel, like your waist. Yeah, solar plexus, yeah. It starts from here, which is, I don't know the chakras. I've never been, you know, I just go along. I get guided, and that's it. I ask. You know, I don't bother with studying this. Everyone's going to give you a different story. So I've started here. So next minute, literally, it disappeared. They were gone. They were cleaned out, and they were no use. I'm sitting without this lower part is gone. So I obviously don't need them, and I've done away with them and don't use them, whatever. Because we did our graduation into 4D and all that nonsense already. So, boom. From here, yeah, it's gone. The lower 2 are gone. So literally, it's only from here. This is almost, so when you sit and see, you're literally sitting from here now, from your waist, like your belly button. It starts there and then all the way up. I haven't bothered to ask what all the other chakras are for on top of your head. Wow. And what the uses are. But there's many up here. So it was like that, bung, 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 bung. And they became like light, poof, diamond, light, poof, diamond. It was like they purified and cleansed right throughout the... Fascinating. You watch them, the Crown. So it was so strange. Then I'll tell you this. So you see that, okay, then that just vanishes, right? Then it works its way up. When it got to here, like across the chest, the lungs, this is really bizarre. When it got to here, this looked like thoughts. So you're seeing they're clearing out, and you get a vision of what they were. So all these were, the lower ones were the sex drive, lust, desire, you know, all the base, real, like, caveman kind of, what I want to say, you know, lower consciousness energies at the lower chakras, right? That's what was interesting. And then you went up and went up. And so when you got to here, though, when I saw this, it was like, as I'm breathing, it was showing like your thoughts. It was almost like your thoughts. This has got something to do with your thoughts. I don't know. But all I was showing, the thoughts then comes, and then here, you see, it's like realms you're watching, right? So you're watching your thoughts come to this, and it's getting cleaned out, and then whoops, it collapsed. So they'd worked through. So here, obviously, wherever it was, this level or something to do with thoughts, this was the third dimensional. Because remember, nothing's on the outside, everything's external. You don't go up in raise in consciousness, raise in dimension and frequency. Everything is within. Your frequency, consciousness is within, inside. Nothing gets done on the outside. So when you see it, this collapsed. They collapsed the realm. Here, this space was like collapsed. Very fascinating. So I was like, wow. So it was like your thoughts went somewhere resonating around here. I suppose thoughts go to your heart, whatever, who knows. I don't know, I'm just saying. Maybe it's, and there we are. So this, I saw that realm collapse. It was like completely removed. Cleansed out, and then poof, that realm, there was like a, and I've seen a realm collapse before. Back when I first started off, this is, you know, cleaning out dark stuff, lower, really nasty things. So there was this realm that collapsed here. And then it was bang, 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 bang. And I was like, wow. So there we are. So they've now dropped. So you've lost you're now the third dimensional on all those lower chakras that if you now don't have to go back. Obviously I cut, as I said, I did away with my ties. Yeah. Don't know, everyone's going to get guided. Remember, we've all got different experiences. We're all going to have different ideas and different levels and different things we want to achieve. And not everyone's going to, who knows. Some people are playing other things and they won't get there in this life. I don't know. We're all going to go down. You can't, at their own time and their own pace. That we know. That I can see. It's pretty clear. Because otherwise, you know, what's the point of experiencing different from all different perspectives? There's interesting perspectives going on out there. Fascinating. So yeah, all I know is now that is completely collapsed. So I don't have to worry about it. 3D me, there's no third dimension. The lower chakras are gone. It's there up. That's it. which we know we moved into 4D a while ago. I told people that's a while ago, but 5D is non-physical. People have got to get an idea. When you go to the end, as you're leaving 4D, transitioning to the highest part of 4D, into 5D is non-physical. So maybe 1,000 years, I don't know how long it'll take. You'll have no body, you know. So people got to think we're going to be here for a year and then we'll be in 5D. No. We've got to wait for the rest of the planet in their own time and other people, you know, to catch up and go along and whatever. So it's transition, takes a bit. And people some are not going to do it in this life at all. They have not chosen to. They will not budge, change. They will not open to any. Some will take a very long time because their beliefs and tradition and systems. Luckily with me, it wasn't so ingrained. And I didn't study, you see. I didn't grow up with a Bible bashing family or religious or Buddhism or whatever. Nothing, thank goodness. Or anything that I'd studied. So there were no blocks. So I was purely open. And I purely took guidance from source and from whatever. So there was no like, oh, no, that's it. I know this. No, there's only that. And there's only so many chakras. And there's only this. And there's only that dimension. Because there's a lot of these, even now, our ancients or religions or whatever, are still practicing it's the old paradigm. All those teachings, all those things were for that paradigm. They don't apply now. Some does, but some don't. So that's why I'm very lucky, I suppose, in the aspect that I didn't carry through. I didn't have any set things that were going to, be a block for me. It's like, oh, no, I can't. That's not. This is how it is. When you you open. Because you have no freaking clue where we go. You ask for ascension, you do your thing, you guide, you ask, and you just follow. And that's it. You go with and your soul's going to guide you. You don't have to look outside and ask other people and what I should be doing and what, I don't. So there we are. I thought that was really interesting. So prepare yourselves for a really clean out. But when you do it, that's what I told people, I think in my last video or something. Ask, because otherwise you get right. Ask them to clear any or thoughts, feelings, emotions, frequencies, vibrations, resonance, residue, that, through all time, space, continuum, realms and dimensions that are not for your highest evolution, your highest from a highest consciousness, the highest, dimensional, the frequency, highest vibration, then hopefully you'll get, all that shit. You can get a good clean then. But then tell them it must get removed from your cellular structure, from your DNA, from your cache, from your auric field, from your energy, your frequency, vibration. I list a lot. I don't want to, don't waste time. So that's interesting. A lot of people, some people have told me, yes, they were told or heard, I don't know. They heard that we're going to be losing, we don't need the lower chakras and we're going to get a lot more. I know, I've seen we got a lot more, a lot. I mean, wow. So they were never there before. There's like a lot above your head. I mean, it's like a tower up there. I don't know how many because I don't go and count them. Everyone's, got a different thing, different drive and different. I just go, I'm not, I want to, some things will get, I'm very curious. Some things will get my interest. And then I'll ask and seek, but I get the answers. So, but that's never been like for me. How many chakras and what chakra is it called? And, I'm not very one of those. So, I still don't even know all the names of the damn chakras. You could have kind of, there's the third eye, the whatever. It's never been a big, whatever, chakra. And it's just maybe a good thing for me because then I say all my chakras. I've never limited myself. I've never said, 5D. I've always said to people, don't say I'm going to I want 5D, I'm at 5D, because it's multidimensional. Oh, that's the part I didn't tell you. Oh, sorry. So my they started going up. They finished that, removed my lower 2 chakras. Then they collapsed the 3rd dimensional thing, cleared. Then as I say, you saw what I was showing, what I didn't explain, is that, it's multidimensional. So what you see now here, once they collapsed this realm, it's like we were in a box. 3D was a box. You were in this like limited, you saw it as you were in a box. That's all you could perceive. It's now gone. So we're now from here up, all it is it's multi-dimensional. There isn't a dimension, it's all dimensions. That's the difference. And that's why people have got to stop focusing. And I've always said, please don't say so many chakras. 5D, this, I'm at that dimension, I want to reach this dimension, I want to speak to those, that dimension. You don't even know what dimension they're at. All dimensions, you have access to them all, they're all multidimensional. They don't work in like 1, 2, 3 like numbers. They all exist. You can reach and communicate with any dimension. You know, so maybe that was a bonus to me. I don't know. I'm just telling you. So prepare yourselves. If you haven't had it yet, wherever you are, there's a guide and a way also from how you can expect it, or you can ask for it. Then you see. But I did really work my way through. So I don't know if you haven't cleared your past life overlays, get rid of them. Clear your karma, get rid of it. I've shared many things on my page every day. I was telling people as it was coming. Work through this. Work through all your traits. Look at the things. Willingly. Okay, am I nasty? Am I this? You know, what traits you don't like? You know, consciously. You know what I mean? Do you want, are you nasty? Are you jealous? Are you criticism? Are you criticizing? Are you judgmental? Are you, who knows? I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? You got to have a real critical look at yourself and then decide, you know, to be, what's a higher consciousness way of being? You know, what are, not really, you know what I mean? So I try not to, and you work, it's work, and you will get and you're like, okay, and then you slip up and you say, oh no, that wasn't okay, now clear your field again, and you're determined like, okay, I'll send love or whatever, you know what I mean? It's work. So all I can say is like you're being consciously trying, and if you slip up, you're like, okay, but I have done this, and like I said on my things, I've told people only follow stuff that is for the expansion of your consciousness, nothing on the outside that you don't need to know, no gossip, no politics, no drama, no news, nothing. I don't follow any of it. I've only worked on me for a reason. I've told people to increase your frequency vibration, because remember, the higher you rise, so the higher light and frequency vibration you rise, you're pulling up the next one, you're pulling them up. So we pull up the planet, the collective consciousness. If you want this planet to get to a decent level, it requires you to raise your frequency, vibration and thing to the highest you can, because that influences those around you. They rise, so you're pulling them up from their 3D, 4D, 5D, whatever, you see. And a lot of people aren't willing to let go of those traits, which are lower consciousness way of being. Because if you go to the highest frequency dimension, as people practice it, and you'll see that you feel no judgment, no hate, no negative feelings. You literally, and you seek to see everybody as source. Seek to see them as, yes, you can see them what they're playing now. This, you know, they got all the nonsense they haven't worked through. I'm playing Joe, and I'm, you know, whatever. But seek to see their higher self, because we're all source anyway. They are your brothers and family. You can't separate yourself from them. They are source. You are source. You are one consciousness out of a body. So we have, you know, we're all stuck together. We like it or not. We have to work together. We are each other. No matter what they've done, how dark they got stuck, they're lost. They lost or whatever. It requires love. So, you know, it's trying to see that being. Always ask to see them as source. Anyway, but it's us, you see. So some of us, you know, just happy to stay here. We like our, you know, traits, and it's also so they don't realize their traits, because it's a characteristic or habits or what you think your character is. This character is carried through many lives. So these personality traits that you think you have are often carried through many lives, and that's what people don't really realize. Well, that's it. That's what I'm saying. You can. It's up to you. There's no judgment on it. Everyone, you see, this is the thing. We're all here to experience something different. There's people at all different levels, all doing their bit. There's no right time for a reason, because other people are at that level. They're going to need to resonate. This one is at that level. So they will find, because we're all at different frequencies and resonance. So everybody's going to be, as you work your way up, you're going to go through different experiences. We've all got to go through those, play different levels. That's it. People can choose what they want to choose. It's their soul's choice. But that's the same thing. That's all I'm saying is it depends. If they're not ready to go up anymore, then they're not ready to go up. But it holds you down. As simple as that. It holds, you cut yourself off, and it's holding you from ascending up. That's it. You know what I mean? But maybe some people don't need to. Maybe they're not going to. Maybe they're staying just to hold this down, to play that role for here. I don't know. I cannot speak for anybody else, and I will not speak for anyone else. I can only share, and I can tell you the fact, and that's it. And many people, many beings that have come here to guide humanity will tell you that. Do not judge anybody else, because it cuts your frequency and lowers you down from source. Whatever you send out comes back to you. End of story. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? Of course we get better. Because you've got to raise your frequency, then you won't ask me. That's what I've been saying to people. Raise your frequency of vibration. You won't need to ask anybody anything. No, not. Yes, I know I sound it. I've been told enough. No, I'm British. Born in the UK. Interesting though, because I get treated like a foreigner in my own country. So it gives me an insight, you see. And because you've traveled so much, you get treated like a foreigner in everyone's country. So you know what it's like for any foreigner. You have great compassion when you've traveled and lived in so many places. Yeah. So that's just a fact, you know what I mean? If you want to raise your frequency vibration, you have to focus only on the light. That's just the way it is. And only send out love and light. And only, that's what I'm doing the 30-40 day. I've explained what you have to do anyway. Experiment and you'll find out for yourself. Do it for 30 days and you will see like, wow, holy shit. You'll see your frequency vibration go through the roof. And I've explained what you need to do for 30 or 40 days. And if you're really strict and you do it properly, you will find out for yourself. Yeah. We've got to work our way through it, and it's difficult. And you've got to sit in meditation. Just sit in quiet and just close your eyes and don't ask. You'll be shown. Just sit. End of story. Yeah. Yeah. I spent a lot of time there. I've worked with so many people from there. Wow. Many, many, many. It's got a lot of dark, dense energy, and it got dark. The energy got very dark and dense towards, I don't know. I haven't been there for a while. I remember the one year when I went back, I noticed a big difference. Wow. Energy was like, ooh, it was nice. Yeah, some countries have quite different energies. Not some. Difficult. Africa's, yeah. Certain pockets are too much trauma, too much stuff there. Held in the collective. Anyway, there we are. I thought I'll share that with you. So now you know where we're going, or who's gone. I'm sure people have experienced it. Some people said to me, yes, they heard that the lower chakras are going. But it does make sense. You don't need it. It is because that was the real part of the ego. That was a real dark, nasty part. So there we are. But it takes work to get there. Okay, you got to do it. If people just think, oh, well, I can carry on like I am and be an arsehole and I can talk and insult this one and call and judge that one and do whatever I want. But I can just, but that's fine. You can do that too. Because could you imagine for Source? There's no judgment from Source's side anyway. It's a learning experience. And then, whatever. And we all here to have different, whatever. Who knows what they wanted to experience at different levels. Yeah, it does take work, yeah. Well, it depends, you see. Also, as I say, I don't all seek the same thing. That would be extremely boring from a Source's perspective. Because how are we going to gain that expansion? So I'm seeking this knowledge and that expansion, and this person's seeking that, and we're getting mass. The universe is expanding massively. It's amazing from this ascension. Because this person's seeking, say, justice, really hardly seeking those answers, and it's causing mass expansion. So this is why I say it's important. Everything that's happening on the planet has its part and has a role. Everything. Everything's a divine plan. The person shouting, the person protesting, the person doing this, the person praying for peace, the person they all this perspective adds to the collective and to the expansion, because when they do evolve as they raise up, it's a big expansion for them. So when you're in a dark consciousness and you wake up, and as you rise, you go through your anger and you vent all your shit and projection first of all. That's the ego. Him and their arseholes and they're just suppressing us and he's doing that and da. You're going to vent all, you're looking on the outside and they're this and we are, we are suppressed and we are this. But that's fine. But I'm saying, then you rise up. But imagine, but it doesn't matter, there's two extremes. So no matter what extreme you're coming from, you're going to. You're either going to go from high to low, or you're going from low to high. You know, dark to light, or light to dark, or whatever you're going to go. So this, either way, they're going to go to up, and it's going to cause expansion for source. So the whole thing is giving a serious, yeah. And then some beings are not doing it in this body. They'll come back in another body. It's easier. They just prefer, it's too difficult. It's too, you know, they had too much, they can't, yeah, they're stuck in such a dark, dense thing. They're just like, yeah. Or they are so lost in their, you know, whatever they were teaching. They're frightened. It's fear. It's all fear, basically. Yeah. Yes, I will. Yeah. So there we are. That was interesting. So you can try that when you do your healing and clearing. I don't know how much you're going to do, but you obviously, there's certain things like that. I've done lots of healing and clearing. I tried. And I'd asked, and you keep thinking how, and you know, I had done that and asked a lot. But then it was this one. You see, this one, no one was pointing out to me. Except a Buddhist. Not nicely, but pointed it out. Someone who's obviously knew Buddhism. Because he used language which comes from the Buddhism, and I was like, ooh, that's a bit nasty. Why are you saying things like that? But anyway, then I was like, I wasn't too bothered, because I don't care what people think and say, because you know, we know a lot of people projecting. And then I thought about this thing, and I thought, ooh, interesting. There's always a lesson. Everything happens for a reason, right? So it's my frequency and vibration, or because I had guides as well, and I was working through, because of my wanting to reach the highest level of consciousness, samadhi, enlightenment, I had called in Buddhist guide as well. So, and they don't, and it's just their way of teaching. They're not, you know, they're not, yeah, just do, that's how they do it. So I said, ooh, interesting. So maybe this is a way of showing me, you know, there's something you need to look at there. And then I looked it up what they meant, what the word meant, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then I looked at my life and I thought, maybe there's something. And I did, actually. Then I started reflecting on it, and I saw through past lives. And then I thought, oh, maybe there's something there. And that's what, so you see, sometimes it helps. So even what you might call a random nasty comment, if you look for the lesson, there's a lesson everywhere. And I was happy to, then I was like, oh, wow, okay, they got a point. And I started looking at, reflecting and asking, and then I was like, oh, this is a pattern, an attachment I have, going way back. So it went back, I think it started the Roman, when I went today, looked back, I think it was the time of the Romans, you know, the whole Roman conquerors period. When you get your Kundalini away, activate your third eye. Intentionally ask, and you can intentionally do that. Yeah. So it was interesting, people. There we are. There we are. I thought I'll share that with you. And I'm going to go. I'll upload it. So prepare as you go, those that are seeking to do that. So that's nice, because I've shared enough videos, and I told people, cut your ties with 3D. So it's sexual at work. You've got to seek to do this. I haven't been wasting my time on the external and politics and drama and this and that and truth movement or any of it. I cut it out completely a while ago. It was my guidance, thank goodness, and I went in and I sought purely to seek the highest level of consciousness. So I sought that, and I was working on the samadhi thing, enlightenment, I got that. So it was me, you see. And I was seeking to guide people for the highest thing to raise, not into the whole idea of being a light worker is to guide them into the light, not to focus on the darkness. So, do you know what I mean? Because people don't realize what they focus on is what they get, and they hold it here. So by you telling them the darkness, you are actually just keeping it. You're not doing anybody any favors, but that's a lesson we have to learn. It's part of our evolution. As you go up, you're like, ooh, and then you get past and you think, oh, okay, ooh, yeah. I'm actually yeah. See, that's just how it works. So I did that, and I shared that, and I told people to cut. I told them New Earth was here. I told them what New Earth was about, what you had to do, anchor in New Earth, and then to cut your ties with 3D, cut your etheric. There's a lot of attachment. That's why people aren't willing to let go, have a lot of attachment to the old paradigm, because it's what you lived in and grew up in. Take note of people. Oh, no, we don't want this. No, we don't want change. No. People don't want to let go of the old. And if you don't realize, energetically, you have a lot of attachment. So I shared a video, all these things, and I said, get rid of it. Cut your attachment. Like you do with any attachment, If it's external or energy or from other people, whatever, clean your auric field. That's it. You ask, remove, and remove any and all. So you actually cut yourself free from the energy of the old world. You see, I'd worked through all those stages to get there, you see. Yeah. Yes, I upload them all to YouTube. Yeah, I'll upload this one. All right. So that I either share them every day. These things, like important things, come through, and I think I did say that. Short videos, I share them on my TikTok. If you go through my TikTok videos, you'll find lots of stuff. As I was going through, I was guided and said to people, right, you need to do this, right? New Earth's here, do that, do that. And I shared the information. Anyway, I'm going to have a good sleep now, tonight. I don't know too much of that, with the energies coming in. It's very warm. Wow. So there we are. I'm so glad, because all the nasty things that I remote viewed or were shown when I was, first woke up, and you're looking for the dark and who's behind all this, and you're playing in the astral, and also the astral is not what you think it is either. It's not what you think it is. That's like a play realm. It's like a games realm we can play. Think of it as like video game realm. Anyway, it's not exactly what you think it is. Anyway, so if you get stuck playing there, you're not going to get up either. But then the things I remote viewed, and the beings at some of these places, they had the humans as well, the very red energy. Wow, the auric field was there. The whole area was just red, that energy. And same with the notice, like that was that ego. That is that whole thing, control. That thing of control. People moan about the government, but they're the same thing. They're trying to control their children, their husbands, their boyfriends, the government, and everyone's trying to control someone. It's control, anger, hurt, rage, all kinds of shit, Very red. No. And the energies of these places and military, most of it's military, all deep military bases are all, but that's what it's all about. There's no higher consciousness in taking another life of anything at all. We kind of, no. This good and bad is not a high consciousness thing. Good, there is no, But anyway, there we are. That's 3D. Very. 4D is waking up to who you are. And that's what people are doing slowly. And and it's so lovely to watch it. And it's so worth it when you get up there. Yeah, of course. Now, eye for eye, as an old way of being, has never solved anything. We've had crusades, we've had witch hunts, we've been through all that nonsense on this planet. It has never, ever solved any war or anything. Because people are not willing to take responsibility that they manifest. You're blaming somebody else. You are not responsible for anybody else but yourself. See, if we don't want to clean up ourselves, we're going to keep blaming everybody else and anybody else around there. They are just human beings like anybody else. And the more you raise, the more you raise everyone around you. See, an old way of being is the same thing. Protesting, angry, violence, burn this down, hang them, judge them, shoot them, go to war with them. That's the same nonsense we did for thousands of years. That's the lower chakras. And the ego, majorly. Arrogance, ego, there we are. And the ego is not in a hurry it doesn't make it easy for you to go. You see, you've got to willingly come, willingly ask as well. Seek and you shall be, ask and you shall get, seek and you'll be given to you. So same thing, I was very careful and deliberate I got wise after a while about my questions. Also ask for wisdom, discernment and things. That's also a good one, you see. Seek the wisdom and discernment and what was the other one I asked? I've shared them enough on my videos anyway. That helps a lot too. So it depends. Sometimes we're so busy, you see, chasing our own tails. We get lost in the weeds. There we are. All right, lovely people. Anyway, it was a very interesting experience, but very tiring because it takes a long time. So that meditation today was about an hour and a half. And I was like, it was a long one. And yesterday, I don't know, yesterday I was like, oh my. Also a long one. But at least, I can figure out all the problems I had with my stomach and my colon and stuff. I was like, no wonder why. Wow, the amount of shit, emotions I had held on to. So I had an interesting exercise today to show you how to release it. So I had a test. Upset me, you see. It was interesting. And then it was like, all right. And I had a little lucky. It's actually very simple if you play the game. So it was like a game I was playing with him because I didn't like to express my emotions. Ooh. You know, so you're hanging to so much anger and so much all these things. I hung on to anger and rage. Oh, you name it, right? So now it was like, no, we're not going to do that. Energy's got to flow. We just got to let the stuff go through. So instead of like as soon as you react to something, you're attaching to that energy. That's it. The minute you react, because everything's neutral, the minute you react to anything you hear, you see, you feel, that is you resonating with it. So you've got a resonance. That's what it is. It's all it is, actually. You've got something in there you haven't figured out. So it's like, oh, for heaven's sake. So this is like, you know. So if you react, basically you've just now resonated. You've now dropped your frequency and resonated with that thing. So now I was like, oh. And then, okay, now you've got to release that energy. And if you're aware of this, it's like, right, I'm going to cleanse and clear. Release that because you don't want that. No. Recenter. And you're going to be doing this all the time, you see. So today I got upset and I was trying to now, my instinct again was, no, you don't want to, we don't want to sit and now hang on to this, you know, miserable, upset sort of thing and get all tearful. You want to just, you want to like, no, don't let it get there. Try and stop it, you see, before it comes up. So today we had like a little game we were playing, like it was funny. So I was like, okay, yes, now sit down. Acknowledge it. Okay, sadness. So I sat down and it was really funny. I sat in the bed. Okay, yeah, what is that? Okay, it's sadness. What is that? Okay, what was it? Sadness and something else. So I acknowledged it, but just all I had to do is acknowledge it. Oh, okay, feel it. Yeah, it's sadness. Acknowledge. Yeah, acknowledge, feel. Then I could tell it. Thank you very much for that lesson. Okay, I don't. Thank you. No longer serve me. I release you. That's it. That is how simple it is, but no one ever taught us that. So the amount of shit I had in me was unbelievable. That it never let them just flow through. That is how simple it is to let it flow through us. So it was like, ooh, so now you want to start crying or you get upset, right? Acknowledge. Okay, which feelings am I feeling? Yeah, okay. Well, sit down for 5 minutes. Or just sit there in your bed. What is that? Grief. Okay, all right. It's grief. Acknowledge it's grief. Acknowledge. You're saying, yes, it's grief. Okay, I see you. It's only an energy. I feel it. Okay, grief. Thank you. I felt that. All right. I no longer, you don't have to keep it. It's not your teddy bear. So now you can let it go. So I was like, okay, thank you. I felt that now. Treat it as just an energy. All right. I respect it, honor you. Thank you for that. I release you. Off you go. Sad. Okay. And there we are. It was that simple. And they're going. Then you don't end up with a lump or a cyst and all kinds of problems. The thyroid that doesn't work. And wow. The amount of stuff that I did to this poor body in this lifetime. Ooh. Oh. Just before I woke up, you see. So, wow. You don't want to get there. And that's where disease comes from and all that. It's because we do not, we block, we don't let the feeling through. And that's all I had to do was just acknowledge it, feel it, like acknowledge, feel, let go. Acknowledge, feel, okay, thank you. I release you. Acknowledge, feel, thank you. And that's how simple it was. But normally, because like you don't, no, we have this terrible fear. I don't know what we've been programmed into. It's emotions or some sort of boogeyman thing that's going to harm us. So we're like terrified of feeling bad. Maybe it's subconsciously because we manifest, you're saying. And we know as divine beings, our core essence is love. So we want to, that's why we're always searching for love, because it's who we are as the beings. But we're searching in attachment. Oh, I want to find it in a car, in an ice cream, in a boyfriend or a girlfriend. We keep looking for that love externally, and that's the wrong place. Because your inner being is not happy if you put anything above your inner being, source. And you're not going to find it. The one person, you're always going to find something else. That's what they call attachment. There's another car, another boyfriend, another girlfriend, another wife. You first find that complete oneness with your soul, with your inner being, who you really are in source. And then everything in your life will be perfect. Anybody and everything. That's the problem. You see, we were never taught that. Never. So we just keep searching, trying to fill that hole with another person. Oh, he was wrong. She was wrong, He did this and she did that. And oh. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot of work. Self-love, self-worth, all those things. in the last couple of months been working through. I've been sharing shorts on TikTok. Yeah, I tell people right now. As I was coming through, as I was working through it, this was a theme. I knew it, and I'd share it with people. Right, do clear self-worth. Take back your self-love. Take back your power. Take back your. Yeah, very much. And we were taught, you see, that's, oh, don't be selfish. You see, a lot of the things that we are now having to step into are completely opposite to what we were taught. By our parents, by our society, by our brothers, sisters, families, mothers, cousins, school. This is the problem. So this is why people are, you know, have that resistance. So this is why it takes time. Because it's like, well, yeah, that is. And at my age, can you imagine? I mean, like, you know, let's not go there, but like, let's just say 60-ish, by the 60s. Thinking so there was a lot of stuff to go. Wow, this world was very different. And my parents were, wow, my grandmother was Victorian like you don't want to know. So yes, what we were doing is, oh, you got to suffer, you got to sacrifice, you got to suck it up, buttercup, you know, hold it in. That was very English. Oh no, you just, you know, suffer quietly, put a smile on your face, and you don't cry, you don't show your emotions, you don't upset anybody, and you don't ask for what you know, you got to work hard and save, and you got to struggle, and you got to survive, and you know, this was a nonsense shit that was jumped on us. Oh, money doesn't grow on trees. Yeah, don't complain. Exactly. Be grateful. So you just suffer and say, thank you, I'm a lowly little person. Exactly the opposite when you are actually the creator in a physical vessel. And then that's blasphemy. You mustn't do that either. So, I mean, there's huge obstacles to overcome, you see. Big obstacles to overcome. So we don't want to see ourselves as equal. And what I learned today as well is another thing. If you're not loving yourself, who you really are as your soul, I mean, your source is source, right? Your inner being, your higher self is who you really are, which is a part of the collective consciousness. So you're basically saying you don't love source, most people, basically what they don't realize is they're saying they don't love God, what they think is Jesus, God, whatever, it's all one being. They actually, that's all you're doing actually. Think about it. If you don't, they love you incredibly. No one is above you. And if you don't love yourself, you're basically rejecting a part of source. And you can't, there's no separate part, because you are part of source. It's one whole. Very difficult to, but you've got to get there slowly. And it took me a lot of work, and slowly, you know, and then I'd get like, okay, you're getting kind, and you go, but you'll get there. Just keep going, you know. But it's a lot faster if you're positive and you really want to, and you're focusing on your purely on your inner journey, and ignore everything else. So you're putting yourself first, which you're supposed to be. Your exercise, your health, your sleep, your rest, your food, your well-being, number one. And you're working on the inner journey, number one. And then you will see, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, but you don't realize it. I mean, you do this shit. I know, wow, it's just really, wow. You don't realize, and as you work your way to the astral too, you realize every block you had was actually you. It's all you, everything. But it's lovely because it's really rewarding, because when you get up there and you look and it's the expansion is so amazing. Then you realize how far you've come, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. So don't ever try and jump from 0 to 100. Your soul won't let you anyway, because the journey, those that are going through, you know, the protests, and like I went through all that. Oh, I was going off from the beginning. I was one of the first people to start off ranting and raving, and you know what, and telling people, oh, what about? You've got to go through. You've got to go through the journey, because then you look back and you realize how far you've come. You go through the astral. You did your astral battles, and you're fighting with the dark, and you've done that. And so you realize, wow, you've come so far. And then you can love who you are. See, then you really love, because now you see your progress. You think, wow, I was there. Look where I am now. Once you can be, you've got to be happy. You love who you be. I love my inner being. I love my inner being. It's the best. It rocks. My inner being rocks. I love my inner being. I love who we be. I'm so chuffed with who we've chosen, who we be now. Who we've chosen to be. I am so happy with who I am. have chosen. I mean, wow. And who we're becoming. I'm like, this is like, yeah, it's like heaven. I mean, it's paradise. It's like the jackpot. I love it. You know, I'm so chuffed. I'm like, I'm so happy with the route I've taken and chosen, and I'm like ecstatic. Yeah, that is so amazing. Yeah, exactly. Love. I love my inner being. Big time. Oh, big time. It rocks my inner being. Big time. It's the best. I'm biased when I go. I love Source. So I am so, yeah, that's it. But that's it. You see, now, how would I have that appreciation if I hadn't, you know? But that's how they say. The darker you go, then the higher you can shoot. So you're going from the... So people that are, say, in the darkest, real dark place, let me tell you, you might be horrible, but for them, when they step out, when they come into the light, wow, that's an expansion of note. Because you're going from the real dark place, you're going to go even higher. You see, you're going to the opposite extreme, to the light. Feel sorry for the ones maybe here, they'd go the other trajectory. That's not fun to go back, you know, go from that way down, no. But that's an amazing thing, because then, wow, I mean, it's like amazing expansion. It's amazing. I mean, the expansion is just awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. It's been a journey of note, man. It's absolutely cool. I'm in awe. I love it. And like, thank you. Just that we can be here to experience this and be part of the expansion is like, wow, this is so cool. It just keeps getting better and better. But that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm telling people to do for 30 or 40 days. Practice it and watch what happens and see how your life changes for the better. Wow, it's so cool. You'll be, you know, you'll be sky high. You'll be floating on the clouds. Yeah, so amazing. Oh, it's so awesome. I love it. You'll be like just loving life, loving everything. All that is, because it is. It's part of it, this contrast. If you like nature and the diversity, the same is in humans. Because everybody's at a different thing. So there's a little different, there's that person for that one and this one for that one. They've all got there. They're perfect for somebody else, and this one's for that one, and this is why it's wonderful. Everybody has a part. Everybody has a part. Everything's part of Source. So you've got to love all that is, which is Source, all the people, no matter what they're doing and playing and being. They're just a bit lost, some of them, maybe. Or they're resonating at that frequency, and the people that are in the same frequency are, you know, not having fun together. But then you've got the same in nature. You see, that contrast. You have a choice. You don't have to. Same, you don't have to choose to be nasty. You can choose to be nice. You don't have to choose to be jealous or bitchy. You can choose to be nice. You don't have to choose to be any of these things. Everything is a choice. Every decision, every word, every thought. This is it's a practice. The thoughts are fun. It's challenging. All right, people, I'm tired now. That I'll share that with you. So good luck. It's so amazing, because I mean, to know where we're going, fascinating. I want to see what happens now, but it's a strange thing having no lower part of your body is like gone. The lower chakras just aren't there anymore. That's really interesting. It's like you're sitting here. Great, we don't need them. I'm not complaining, definitely not at all. All right, lovely people. Have a good evening, morning, or day, wherever you are. And I'll upload this to YouTube, anybody wanting to, you know, get the whole thing. All right. Bye.